Oh man, I didn't think they'd bring it back, but they did. Eau Noire by Christian Dior. Hey Fragrance family, I'm Dave and I'm a Fragrance Bro, of course your best source for everything fragrance related. Now, recently I posted a picture on YouTube saying that I got this and asking if I should do a review. Of course, many of you said I should. It was a rhetorical question. I was going to do it anyway. But Christian Dior recently just released Eau Noire, part of their private collection of fragrances. And it's a limited time release, I believe, for the fall. I'm not exactly sure about the details, but they say it's a limited time and it's for a fall collection. So I'm just assuming that it's for the fall season. Now I'll show you, of course, some close-up footage of this. And I'm going to leave it in the box for the moment real quick, just to explain that this is an amazing box for one. It's something that you just want to keep. It fits really snugly. It's great for moving or storing. And that brings me to today's sponsor, TruthFinder. Now, TruthFinder.com is a background checker service of sorts, and it researches a whole slew of things that you can find out about yourself if you've had any kind of fraud or if you've had any kind of information leaked to the dark web. You can do background checks on other people, of course, if you're going into business with someone or if you're about to date someone. These are all really important things. I know personally, I have kids here, and one of the things that I really wanted to find out was, are there any kind of predators in our neighborhood or our region or wherever? So I did a search for that, and you can find that out. Turns out there are. Thankfully, they're not in my neighborhood, but there are some in some of the neighboring neighborhoods around us. So that's just something that we kind of have to keep our eye on. And another interesting tidbit is that for whatever reason, years ago in our first house, we lived in a house that was occupied before us by someone who had passed away. And now, for whatever reason, that person's information is just always moving with us. So I went on there and I actually changed some things on the website to say this is not accurate about us. So that was really convenient. I checked dark web information to see if there's any dark web leaks. Thankfully, there was not. So this is a great service. And so I'm going to link it down below if you want to go and check it out. This is something that I've really benefited from recently. If you need to do any kind of background checks, if you're moving someplace and you'd like to know more about the area, or if you have kids like I do and you want to check out that kind of thing, definitely check out TruthFinder. I'll link down below to them. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the review. Let's take off the box real quick here. Ooh, tight box. Now, usually whenever I get these bottles, I usually get the giant one, but I didn't this time. I just got the 125 ml bottle this time, which I like, but I really kind of wish I went for the 250. I'm not sure if they had a 250 available, but it'd be really cool to have because all the other ones are that size too. Now, Eau Noire was one of the original first releases with the Privé collection from Christian Dior. It was discontinued, and with the re-release of the Maison Christian Dior private collection, whatever they call it, long name, they didn't add this one again. So I'm kind of glad to get my nose back on it. I remember this one was one of the more interesting fragrances from the line. Now, performance on this is excellent. I mean, great longevity on this, probably about 10 hours. We'll get to some of the notes in there, but that's probably one of the reasons why. Projection is pretty good as well. I would say in the average to excellent range. Season, I would say this is really good for fall and winter, but this is a kind of a strange scent. It doesn't have to necessarily be just for fall and winter. I could see this in the spring as well. I think the only season I couldn't see this for is summer, just because this is a warmer type of scent, but definitely for spring, fall, and winter. Purpose, I think this is mostly formal. This is a very avant-garde style fragrance, but this could also be used in a casual situation. In one sense, I think you might be able to use this in a romantic or date situation, but it's not a normal date type of scent, and it's not a people-pleasing type of scent either. I think you just kind of have to know the person beforehand. This is not like a first date type of thing, but I don't think this is going to be a compliment getter. This is not going to be one that is going to get hugs and that kind of thing. So yeah, probably not a first date, but you know, I could see it as a date maybe. Now, I mentioned that this was strange, and it is. Let's get to some of the notes real quick. Some of the notes in this are thyme, sage, licorice, lavender, coffee, cedar, immortelle, saffron, vanilla, violet, leather, and what they call stems greens, whatever that is. What's funny is I totally get why this was discontinued. Whenever I wear this, I think this is good, but it is odd at the same time. I like it. I think it's very pleasant, but it's not like a fragrance I've smelled before. This is completely a unique scent. I've never smelled anything like this. It's a funny mix of notes that has a very warm and almost gourmand heart with a lot of spicy elements and some candy licorice elements, and then herbal, vetiver, weird things. I mean, it's everything. I think the first warning I have is that I think if you hate black licorice, don't get this. I mean, it has a very prominent black licorice note. Also, too, I think if lavender is a fragrance note that you find maybe annoying, then maybe stay away from this too. This is a very prominent lavender at the start, and that stays for a long time. Lavender to me is one of those challenging type of notes. I think it's okay here, but it is still on the challenging side for me. Also get coffee too, and that coffee is a strange note to put in there. So lavender, licorice, and coffee are immediately noticeable right from the first spray. You get the vanilla too, especially when it dries down. You get that vanilla. What a fragrance. Now, when I posted my picture of this, someone said that this was actually made by Francis Kirkjohn from Maison Francis Kirkjohn. I thought that was really interesting, and I believe I saw that Kirkjohn was joining Dior again. Am I right there? But anyway, it was made by him, and I can totally see that. He's got a great nose. He finds something unusual in the world. I don't know how he does it, but he finds something that cannot be replicated. And this is one of those type of scents. Wild. Again, as it dries, I still get that coffee. I get vanilla, there's some leather and some cedar that come up. I get a lot of the notes that are listed here in different ways. It's blended really well. A lot of the notes kind of just blend in one to another, and I think that's pretty cool. And if you've never tried this, and from the notes, if you're thinking those don't blend well, you might not be wrong. It is just a wild fragrance. I don't really know how to describe it other than what I've done. It's just lavender, coffee, licorice, woody, vetiver. It is a roller coaster of a ride. There are certainly people out there who will hate this fragrance, and I can see why. But for me, I actually really like this fragrance. I think it's a very unique scent that deserves to be tried, at least. I don't think this is ever going to go in someone's top 10 of all time, but this is such a cool scent that has never been done before and will never be done again. It's just one of those timeless type of scents. If you like something out of left field, if you like gourmands, and if you like lavender, I think that this is definitely worth checking out. So yeah, Eau Noire, wild scent, but yeah, definitely check this one out. But it's not a blind buy. So that's all I have. What do you think of this fragrance? I'd love to know your thoughts if you've tried this one at all. For one thing, you've got to try it because it is wild. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I love you for it. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave with the Fragrance Bros. Bye.